This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin FREAKIN.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol, live. It's a freaking Thursday, and we're on a little bit early tonight. We are getting ready for President Joe Biden's address to the nation. Here on this, the roundabout anniversary of the COVID lockdowns. The speech set to take place at the top of the hour. We will get to that momentarily. Now I believe that I am the proud owner of a PS5 now. I said that I wouldn't actually get excited about it until it charged my card. My card has been charged. It's supposed to be here on the 25th. Very excited about that. My camera issues have been resolved. I'm not going to be charged $60, $70 for a camera that didn't work twice. Two different versions of the camera. We tried it out here on the show. It glitched out a lot. I'm not quite as sharp in this camera, but at least it doesn't go all fucking crazy. Everything is very well. Thank you very much. Alt-right, apparently. What makes you alt-right, apparently? I would very much be interested to know, apparently. And we are waiting for President Joe Biden to address the nation. The bar is I'm really wondering what you know. You've got a British flag. Are you British, or are you like punk or something? Because if an American is calling you alt-right. Yes, the Union Jack. I was trying to think of it in my head what the phrase was for it. If an American is calling you alt-right, they could just be fucking dumb, because Americans have no clue what the political spectrum is. And shit's really out of whack over here in this country. So there might be a little miscommunication with our friends across the pond. So my apologies if you got called alt-right and you are not the alt-right. I actually had a news director at a TV station say that alt-right is not a phrase. My response to him was, well, that's kind of what they fucking call themselves. You can't dictate what a group or a movement or some colloquial phrase gets tacked on to some nebulous group on the internet or on Twitter. You can't dictate what they call themselves. So, expecting Biden here in about 6 minutes. Currently, Senator Coons speaking to PBS. Mitch McConnell was speaking as I was getting ready to go on. And if I had known that PBS was going to have Mitch McConnell on, I would have came on a little earlier so we could hear the turtle. The majority of like the majority of Twitch, I would say, is left-leaning. The majority of people that are creatives and such, they tend to lean left. It becomes a like a self-supporting, self-replicating kind of monster. I agree with you. Malding together with Mitch. I'd like to cut off the excess, like neck skin. You could make a good scarf with Mitch McConnell's neck skin. Now, I don't know how cogent Biden is going to be tonight, but one thing is for certain, I am not high enough for this shit. Oh man, the deplatforming of right-wing channels, So, one, they dominate. So that's the first thing you've got to understand is right-wingers dominate on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Some of it is like money, things like The Blaze or the Daily Caller. Shit like Young Americans for Liberty. That shit has a lot of money flowing into it. So it's artificially like bumped up into your YouTube. PragerU is another good example. Yes, I am back. We are back for the Biden speech. If you missed the show last night, I was only on for a few minutes. I've had some family issues. My father passed away on Friday. So that has been the reason for my absence. And as I was going on the air last night, I also got some bad news. My mother is in the hospital, so best wishes to Sheila. Thank you so much. Thank you for your condolences. Yeah. It all kind of, when it rains, it pours. So I might be going up to see some thank you guys. Thank you so much. I may be going up to see my mom. She's gonna have to have surgery. So I might be absent over the next few days. I'm gonna try to be here as much as I can. And I'm glad to be here for a Biden speech. Was I defending stupid people? Producer Dave coming in hot. I don't think he's coming in hot at me. Were you having a conversation? Okay, yeah, alt-right apparently. I was trying to get to why he might be called alt-right, apparently. I don't like, you're claiming that right-wingers are being deplatformed, man. Like, have you met me? Fucking, I might be the most banned person on Facebook. Twitter has taken me down numerous times. Exactly. When you post shit on other people's servers, they can do whatever they want. They're the gatekeepers of that. Now, like, there's no censorship as long as you can go put up your own server. You can host your own content. They don't need to give you a reason, but they do. I mean, hell, even like, fucking, I'm not monetized on YouTube right now, even though I should be. For 3 months, I've been demonetized on YouTube. And that's some, it's not a lot of money, but it's not anything to sneeze at that I should have been making. It sucks YouTube did that to me, but like, it's their platform. What am I gonna do? Right-wingers love to put themselves up on the fucking cross, man. Like, I've been in the media business for 20 years. I've been fired countless fucking times. It's just like, what happens? But now, like, a right-winger gets fired for just cause, and then they nail themselves to the fucking cross, and people worship them. And it's such mediocre people, too. Dave Rubin writing a book, like, don't burn this book. What a fucking dick. Couldn't be more transparent with your bullshit. A public platform is required to enforce its own rules. A public platform is required to enforce its own. What? That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any fucking sense. So we're getting ready for
contributions to your
our
PBS
Biden speech
station
here.
from viewers like you. Thank you.
Well, PBS NewsHour intro. Yeah, there's no, and it's so weird to see right-wingers argue against private companies. Yeah, right-wingers do not understand 230 at all. And if they were to repeal 230, don't realize that they would be the victims of it. First of all, I would be a victim of it, I'm sure. Because they're just not going to host anything that they consider controversial. That even, like, tiptoes up to the fucking line. There's going to be no review process. There's going to be just algorithms that are going to kick off fucking everything. Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. We'd all be fucking kicked off. You'd have to have the most milquetoast fucking content if they repealed 230. Because these fucking tech companies are going to be scared as shit to host anything. Especially when we start getting to the prosecutions of these people involved in the Capitol riots. And we find out some of the shit that they were doing in Facebook groups and on Parler. Holy shit. They don't want to be held accountable for that shit. And that's what's stopping 230 stops tech companies from being sued if, like, somebody facilitates a murder. Like the dude in New Zealand, like if it was to happen in the United States. He's broadcasting it on Facebook. Facebook can't be held accountable for the fact that he broadcast that on Facebook. All right, here we go. Here is President Biden.
Tonight, I'd like to talk to you about where we are as we mark 1 year since everything stopped because of this pandemic. A year ago, we were hit with a virus that was met with silence.
I'm not high enough for this shit, as always.
Denials for days, weeks, then months. That led to more deaths, more infections, more stress, and more loneliness. Photos and videos from 2019 feel like they were taken in another era. The last vacation, the last birthday with friends, the last holiday with extended family. While it was different for everyone,
well, protected class isn't a thing. He's in Britain.
A collective suffering.
He doesn't understand. That's codified in our laws. I'm sure Britain has something similar.
The loss of living for all of us. But in the loss, we saw how much there was to gain in appreciation, respect.
I don't see any evidence that the rules aren't being enforced the same.
In the darkness is a very American thing to do.
I'm telling you, if you think right-wingers are being persecuted, fucking come over here and follow me for a little bit. And find out what all the fucking tech companies do to me. And you'll see, like, oh.
Risking their lives, sometimes losing them. To save
it happens on both sides. It's just algorithms.
Researchers and scientists racing for a vaccine. And so many of you, as Hemingway wrote, being strong.
What do you mean the cake example?
All the broken places. I know it's been hard.
You can't discriminate against somebody based on, because this goes back to black people. This is Jordan Peterson. Go watch Jordan Peterson with Jim Jeffries. And Jim Jeffries walks Jordan Peterson through it, and Jordan Peterson realizes, like, yeah, I was wrong about that.
Total deaths in America, 527,000.
I support a private company being able to choose who to serve, but they can't discriminate based on religion, sex, orientation,
and 9/11 combined.
Gender.
There were husbands, wives, sons and daughters, grandparents, friends, neighbors, young and old.
Well, I mean, if you were part of this class of people that have been historically discriminated against, and people are constantly coming at you, trying to debate your rights as a citizen, you'd probably be, a little fucking. You probably have a chip on your shoulder too, my man. You got to look at it from that, like, Wasn't that long ago? People like gay people are still being killed just for being gay.
Loved ones who are
I
hurting.
shouldn't say it wasn't that long ago. Not as prevalent today.
Say before I talk about the longest walk.
Bigots seem to have moved on to trans people. That's the.
He's up a short flight of stairs to his child's bedroom.
That's their new whipping boy.
To say, I'm sorry. I lost my job. Can't be here anymore. Like my dad told me when he lost his job in Scranton. So many of you have had to make that same walk this past year. You lost your job.
Jobs you can't
Closed
apply
your
for due to
business.
your sexuality and race?
Facing
What?
eviction.
That's stupid.
Homelessness, hunger.
Yes, LOL indeed.
Maybe worst of all, a loss of hope. Watching a generation of children who may be set back up to a year or more
That doesn't make any
because they've
sense.
not been in school because of their loss of learning. It's the details of life that matter the most. And we miss those details. The big details and the small moments. Weddings, birthdays, graduations. All the things that needed to happen, but didn't. The first date, the family reunions, the Sunday night rituals. It's all has exacted a terrible cost on the psyche of so many of us.
I find it hard to believe that the BBC won't hire straight
Who
white
want to
men.
be with others, to talk, to laugh, to hug, to hold one another. But this virus has kept us apart. Grandparents haven't seen their children or grandchildren. Parents haven't seen their kids. Kids haven't seen their friends. The things we used
Would
to
your
do
standards on regard
always
to
filled
justice
with joy.
fight for that injustice?
have become things we couldn't do
What?
and broke our hearts
Tell as old as time indeed.
too often.
Would your standards on
turned
regard
against
to
one
justice fight for that injustice?
mask.
Or is that over...
The easiest thing to do to save lives. Sometimes it divides.
Hold on, shut the fuck up, Biden. Would your standards on regard to justice fight for injustice, or is that overlooked? Would your standards on regard to justice fight for that injustice, or is that overlooked? Can someone explain that one to me? I tried.
And still, they're forced to live in fear for their lives.
What's an
Just
example
walking down the
of
streets in
rules not being applied evenly?
It's wrong, it's un-American, and it must stop. Look, we know what we need to do to beat this virus. Tell the truth.
What bakery?
scientists.
What the fuck are you talking
Science,
about?
Work together.
You're talking about the
Put
gay
trust and
cake. Or
faith in
gay
our
cake.
government to fulfill its most important function, which is
The
protecting
gay wedding
the
cake
American
thing.
people. No function more important. We need
I'd
to
have to go
remember
back
government isn't some
and
foreign force in the
familiarize
distant
myself with it, but that's it.
capital.
Like
No, it's us.
that was the local law in Colorado.
We the
You couldn't
people.
discriminate against
For you and
a
I,
gay
that America
person.
thrives when we give our hearts, when we turn our hands to common.
Oh, I'd love to eat some gay cake.
And right now, my friends, we're doing just that. And I have to say, as your president, I'm grateful to you. Last summer, I was in Philadelphia and I met a small business owner, a woman. I asked her, I said, what do you need most? Never forget what she said to me. She said, looking me in the
All
eyes,
you need
she
is
said,
love?
I just want the truth. The truth. Just tell me the truth. Think of that.
I would assume.
My fellow Americans,
I was thinking
You're
rainbows
nothing
and
less
sparkles, like
and for all
unicorns.
you
What are those little
things will get back to
flower
normal.
things
Here
that they do?
is
Like
the
really
truth.
pretty with the flower.
The only way to get our lives back, to get our economy back on track, is to beat the virus. You've been hearing me say that for while I was running and the last 50 days I've been president.
Yeah, I don't
This is one of the
understand.
most
Like
complex
you
operations
can kick somebody
we've
out
ever
for
undertaken as a nation
violating
in a
your
long
rules,
time.
being an ass, blah blah. But you can't
That's why I'm
discriminate because they're
using
gay
every
or
power
because
I
they're
have as
black
President
or
of the United States
because they're Jewish and
put
like
us on a war
I
footing
thought
to
we
get
all
the
pretty
job
much
done.
agreed that was a
Sounds
good
like hyperbole,
thing.
but I mean it.
Like
war
this seems
footing.
like this seems like that's why you're getting
Thank
called
God we're making some
alt-right
real
because like
progress
this This is pretty apparent to the rest of us.
I outlined for you.
And you're
a
like,
comprehensive
no,
strategy to beat this
maybe
pandemic.
not.
We've spent every day since attempting to carry it out. 2 months ago, this country didn't have nearly enough vaccine supply to vaccinate all or ever near all of the American public. But soon we will. We've been working with vaccine manufacturers, Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson.
It's weird you call it a left-wing echo chamber because
millions of
there's
doses
a lot of right-wing content on
these
Twitter.
three safe,
A lot of
effective
paid
vaccines.
right-wing content, a
And
lot of
now,
right-wing trolls,
at the
and a
direction
hell of a lot of
and with the
nonsense.
assistance of my
I
administration.
mean, I don't know. Like Twitter
Johnson
kicked
&
me
Johnson
off 2 years ago,
is
so
working
I don't
together
really
with a
fucking
competitor,
know what's gone on
Merck,
since then.
to
There
speed
might
up
not
and
be as
increase
many
the
Nazis.
capacity to manufacture new
No, a
Johnson &
man
Johnson
cannot become a
vaccines
woman,
with one
but
shot.
that's not what trans people
In
are.
fact, just
That's
yesterday,
not. That's a.
I announced
That is a straw
met with
man.
the
To say
CEOs of
a
both
man cannot
companies.
become
I
a woman.
announced
That's a
our
straw
plan
man
to
argument.
buy an additional 100 million doses of Johnson & Johnson vaccines.
I'll be happy to explain it real fast if you actually listen and comprehend. But I don't want to keep having to do the trans conversation over and over again. I hate that I keep pausing.
For all
No, he's getting serious
adults
now.
in
He's leaning
America
over. He's really talking
by the
to
end of
us.
May.
We should pay attention to what he's got to say.
That's months ahead of schedule. And we're mobilizing thousands of vaccinators to put the vaccine in one's arm, calling active duty military.
I don't know. In case you missed it
retired
while
doctors
we
and
were
nurses,
talking, I don't know if he's announced it or not.
And in
But
those
somewhere
to
in this
administer the
speech, he's
shots.
going to announce that May the 1st,
And
vaccines
we've
are
been
available to
creating more
everybody.
places to get the shots. We've made it possible.
We
for
may
you
have
to
missed
get a
that. We may
vaccine
not. He
in
may be
nearly
coming up on it. I may have spoiled it
one
for
of
you.
10,000 pharmacies across the country, just like you get your flu shot. We're also working with governors and mayors in red states and blue states to set up and support nearly 600 federally supported vaccination
Wrong? He's
centers
not a
that
Muslim?
administers hundreds of thousands of shots per day. You can drive up to a stadium or a large parking lot, get your shot, never leave your car, and drive home in less than an hour. We've been sending vaccines to hundreds of community health centers all across America, located in underserved areas.
I got a phone call at 9 o'clock this morning. Someone wanted me to go with them. They were driving 5 hours
where you live, so those who are
to a little
least able
small
to get the
town to get a
vaccine are able to
fucking
get it.
vaccine. Come on.
We continue
come
to
on.
work on making at-home testing available. And we've been focused on serving people in the
Here's
hardest hit
Smokey.
communities of this pandemic: Black, Latino, Native American, and rural communities. So what does all
I told her
this
if I'd
have?
known she was going to get a vaccine,
When I took
I had
office
plenty,
50 days ago,
wide open. Just had to
only
drive
8% of
5 hours to
Americans
get it.
after
I would have gone with her.
months, Only 8% of those over the age
She
of
called me like
65
right when I
got
was
their first
waking up, and I
vaccination.
denied the call. I'm like,
Today, that number is 65%. Just
what do you mean? What do you mean
14% of
secured the
Americans
vaccines for us?
over the age of 75, 50
When
50
Biden
years
took
ago,
office,
they got their
there
first
was
shot.
effectively
Today, that number
zero
is well over
vaccine.
70%. With new guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC,
It's Biden and his
came out
use
on
of the
Monday.
Defense Production Act, which has ramped
means
up
simply
production
this.
of the vaccine.
millions and millions of grandparents who went months without being able to hug their grandkids can now do so.
I'm not
people
aware of the
vaccinated,
rollouts in
The CDC
either
will
the
continue to
UK or
provide
in
additional
Canada, so I don't
guidance
feel comfortable
on what
talking
you can
about
do in the
them.
workplace.
The rollout early
worship
on
with
here in
friends,
America was really,
as well
really
as
botched.
travel.
Super fucking botched. They're
When I
getting
came
their
into
shit
office,
together
you may
now
recall,
and still not
I
very
set a goal that
organized.
many of you said was
And
a
if
kind of
Curiouser and
way
Curiouser
over
is
the
in
top.
here, she could speak more to that because that's what she
I
does.
intended to get 100 million shots in people's arms in my first 100 days in office.
That's true.
Tonight,
Trump was indeed
I can say
banging
we're not only
Ivanka.
going to meet that goal, we're going to beat that goal. Because we've actually on track to reach this goal of 100 million shots in arms on my 60th day in office.
No one is tonguing
No
Biden.
other country in the
My
world has
chat
done
is
this.
more than likely not
None.
full of Biden supporters.
I want to talk about the next steps we're thinking about. First,
I doubt there's
Tonight,
anyone in here that is
I'm announcing that I'll
enthusiastically
direct
a
all
Biden
states,
supporter.
tribes, and territories to make all adults, people 18 and over, eligible to be vaccinated no later than May 1.
You are my chew toy now.
All adult Americans will be eligible to get a vaccine
Here we go.
no later than May 1. That's much earlier than expected. Let me be clear. That doesn't mean everyone's going to have that shot.
No, stick around, alt-right, apparently. We'll have you hop in the Discord or hop on the phone after
To
Biden.
do this, we're going to go from 1 million shots a day that I promised in December
I like you, mate.
to beating our
Stick with
current
us.
pace of 2 million shots a day, outpacing the rest of the world. Secondly, at the time when every adult is eligible in May, we will launch
I don't know the lyrics you're singing.
new
There's only
tools
one.
to make
Once
it
again,
easier for you to find the vaccine and where to get the shot, including a new website that will help you first
Fuck
find
yeah,
the place
accountable.
to get
Keep the-
vaccinated and the one nearest
I gave
you.
Biden props
No
on the
more
child
searching
credit.
day
If you
and
guys
night
don't
for
know,
an
if you have
appointment
children, you're
for
getting
you and your loved one.
$300 a pop per
Thirdly,
kid per month for the next year,
With the
direct
passage of the
payments.
American Rescue Plan.
A lot of
and I
people
thank
don't know
again
about it.
the House and
Democrats
Senate
aren't good
passed.
about spreading the message, but I've also
And my
talked through
announcement
Biden
last
talking
month
because
of
he's
a plan to
not a
vaccinate
fun
teachers
speaker.
and school staff. including
That's a
bus
good
drivers.
program.
We can accelerate
Eliminate half of all
massive
child
nationwide effort
poverty.
to
One
reopen our
stroke
schools
right there.
Safely. And meet my goal that I stated.
But
at the
I was
same
giving
time, about 100 million
Biden,
shots.
Congress, props
Of
on
opening
getting that
majority
done.
of
That's a
K
good
through 8
program. And
schools
somebody's like, yeah, but
in
blah,
my
blah,
first
blah, blah,
100 days in
blah,
office.
blah, blah, blah. Biden didn't
This
do
is gonna
this.
be the
Biden didn't
number
do that.
one
I'm like,
priority
chill. Fucking chill.
new
I like
Secretary
the
of
energy.
Education.
Keep it. Keep on Biden. Keep
Cardona.
fucking pushing him. Don't argue with fucking
In
me
the coming
just
weeks,
because I want to get the word out
we will
that,
issue
hey,
further
you're getting
guidance
$300
on
per
what you
kid
can
per
and
month for
cannot
the next
do
year.
once fully
I don't even
vaccinated.
have kids.
To lessen
I
the
think it's a
confusion,
great fucking
Keep
program.
people safe and encourage
And that's a
more
good
people to get
example of
vaccinated.
policy that doesn't affect
And
me
finally,
in any
fifth,
way, shape, or form.
maybe
But
most
I see it
important,
as a positive, and I am
I
behind
promise
it,
I will
and
do
I want to
everything
promote
in
it.
my power. I will not relent.
Absolutely.
to defeat this virus.
How fucking awesome is that? I got a friend
The American
that's
people
got
need
3 fucking
every
kids.
American to do their
That's a
part.
significant chunk of money. Now,
That's not
both
hyperbole.
of them
You need
work.
You
Fantastic
need to get
fucking
vaccinated
parents.
when it's your turn and when you can find an opportunity.
But that extra like
And to help your
$1,000 a
family,
pop a month.
friends, your neighbors get vaccinated as well.
That just puts
Because
people
here's
in a
the
whole
point.
different stratosphere.
If we do all this, if we
That
do our
helps
part,
like
if we do this together, by
people being
July
able
the
to
4th,
invest in
there's
their
a good
future, put
chance
something
you,
back,
your families and friends will be able to
home
get together in their
improvements, and that's
backyard
good
or
for
your
the
neighborhood
economy. We
and have
need
a
to
cookout
put
or a
more money in
barbecue and
people's
celebrate
hands.
Independence Day. That doesn't mean large events with lots of people together, but it does mean small groups will be able to get together. After this long, hard year,
Hell yeah, that's
we'll make
awesome.
this Independence Day something truly special, where we not only mark
I
our
thought about
independence
spending
as a
my
nation,
Biden bucks on
again
WrestleMania.
to mark our independence
I
from
went
this
through all the
virus.
different scenarios, and ultimately we said,
To
nah,
get there,
a lot of driving.
we can't let our guard down. This fight is far from over. As I told the woman in Pennsylvania, I'll tell you the truth. July 4th
That's very possible, Producer Dave.
is the goal. But a lot can happen. Conditions can
Exactly,
change.
Casey. Like this opens the door
Scientists have
to
made
a form
clear
of UBI.
that things may get
I'm
worse again.
upset
There's new
that
variants
the
of
minimum
the
wage
virus
increase
spread.
was taken out of it, but I don't think it's
We've got
over. I
work
think they're
to do to
gonna
ensure
I
that
think they're gonna go for it
everyone has
again,
confidence
possibly
in
the next
the
reconciliation
safety and
bill.
effectiveness of all 3 vaccines.
But once again, they got to overrule the
my
parliamentarians.
message to you is this.
They gotta, because I
Listen
don't
to
see them
Dr.
getting rid of
Fauci.
the filibuster, so I don't know how they're
One of
going
the
to
most
raise the minimum
distinguished
wage
and trusted
otherwise.
voices in the world. He's assured us.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's pretty likely. I think I'm going to see a show by the end of the year.
I know they're safe.
I'm fuck the parliamentarian,
Vice
but like
President
it's
Harris
Democrats,
and I
corporate
know this.
Democrats using it as an excuse.
That's why we got the vaccine publicly in front of cameras, so for the world to see, so you could see us do it. The first lady and the second gentleman also.
But
got
keep it
the
like,
vaccine.
hey,
Talk to your family.
write fucking
friends,
letters
neighbors,
to
the
Manchin
people you know
and
best who've
Cinema.
gotten the vaccine. We need everyone. to
Especially,
get
I might
vaccinated.
actually have some people that live in
Everyone
West Virginia
keep
watching.
washing their
You
hands.
live in West Virginia,
Stay
fucking
socially
pressure Joe
distanced.
Manchin.
and keep wearing the mask as recommended by the CDC. Because even if we devote every resource we have,
And that was one of the, if I was going to WrestleMania, like I was like, I'm gonna get a cloth mask, and like that's what I'm gonna do instead of wearing the surgical mask I always wear.
national unity isn't just how politics and politicians vote in Washington.
Those
What
can get
the loudest
vaccines.
voices say on cable or online. Unity is what we do together as fellow Americans. Because if we don't stay vigilant, and the conditions
Yes, I did
change,
purposely wear my Bernie
we may
Sanders
have to
shirt
reinstate restrictions
while
to
watching
get
the
back
Joe
on
Biden
track.
speech.
And please, we don't want to do that again. We've made so much
This
progress.
time last year, I was a
This is
very
not the
pissed
time to
off
let up.
individual. As we're going into the whole
Just as we were
lockdown
emerging
situation,
from the dark
and
winter
Bernie just got fucked
to a
over
hopeful spring and
coming out of
summer,
Super
it's not the
Tuesday.
time to not stick with the rules. I'll close with this.
I was courteous to this motherfucker through the election.
We've lost family and friends. We've lost businesses and dreams we spent years building.
It absolutely should have been
We've
Bernie.
lost time with each other.
But I will
Children
say, if
lost
Bernie
so
couldn't
much
be in
time
the
with friends,
presidency,
time with their school.
he's
No
the chair of the
graduation
budget
ceremonies
committee.
this spring. No graduations from college, high school.
And oh my God, he is going to do a hell of a job as the chairman of the
We lost
budget
faith in
committee.
whether our government and our democracy can deliver on really hard things
Ooh,
for the American
I will definitely be
people. As I
joining
stand here tonight, we're
Ego
proving
Blix,
once again
just like
something
everybody
I've
else
said
should.
time and time again, till they're probably tired of hearing me say it. I say it to foreign leaders and domestic alike.
Even you, Google, you
It's
should join
never, ever a good bet
Ego Blix's stream
bet
tonight.
against the American people. America is coming back. The development, manufacture, and distribution of vaccines in record time is a true miracle of science. It's one of the most extraordinary achievements any country has ever accomplished.
I don't leave the house
We also
anyway,
just saw the
so
Perseverance rover land on Mars.
it
Stunning images of our
put it into
dreams
going out
that
to
are now
dinner.
reality. Another example of the extraordinary American ingenuity, commitment, and belief in science and one another. And
I'd rather
today,
have you on the surround sound
I
of the big
signed into
speakers,
law
though.
the
Though
American Rescue
I will
Plan,
admit,
an
the
historic
Google
piece of
Home, the Google
legislation
Nest products have a damn
delivers
fine
immediate
speaker on
relief
them.
to millions of people. Includes one.
I certainly rock out when I'm taking a shower.
Rescue checks, payments. That means a typical family of four earning about $110,000 will get checks for $5,600 deposited if they have direct deposit or in a check.
Oh yeah, for the size, you cannot beat that
extends
speaker, and for the
unemployment
price. But
benefits.
also, they're
It helps small
they're
businesses,
practically
lowers
giving them
healthcare
away
premiums
just
for
because they
many,
want your data.
provides food and nutrition, keeps families in their homes, and it will cut child
As long
poverty
as you're
in this
aware of
country
that fact,
according to the experts.
that they want your data from it.
It funds all the steps I've just described to beat the virus and create millions of jobs. In the coming weeks and months,
I mean, I think we're all aware of that
I'll
with
be
all of
traveling
our
along with the First Lady,
electronic
Vice
products
President,
now.
Second Gentleman, members of my cabinet, to speak directly to you, to tell you the truth about how the American Rescue Plan meets the mark.
I've never used an
And if it
Echo. I'm
fails,
very
it
happy
failed.
with my
I will
Google.
acknowledge that it failed, but it will not. About how after long,
The
dark
one
years,
complaint I have about my
whole
Google
year, there
is
hope,
not them, it's a
light,
third party
better days ahead.
thing.
If we all
I
do
can't
our
make
part,
Spotify playlists play
this country will be
on random
vaccinated
when they
soon.
start.
Our economy will be on the mend. Our kids will be
So
back
like
in
if I have like a playlist when I go to bed, it plays the same
proven
songs
once
in the
again
same order, and like
this
that
country
fucking
can
drives
do
me crazy.
anything, hard things, big things, important things. Over a year ago, no one could have imagined
But that's not a Google thing. That's a
what we were
Spotify
about
thing.
to go through. But now we're coming through it. And it's a
We are
shared
coming to
experience.
okay on the South Park
Binds us
pandemic
together
special, which
as a nation.
everybody should watch. That was fucking
We're
hilarious.
bound together by the loss and the
They
pain.
acted like it was all
days
over at the end. I'm like,
that have
hey,
gone
we're
by.
not quite through this.
We're also bound together by the hope and the possibilities of the days
We also
in
need to
front
not
of us.
have a false sense of security because of the other the
My
strains.
fervent prayer for our country is that after all we've been through,
especially the South American strain, apparently is a rather nasty beast.
I believe we can and we will. We're seizing this moment, and history, I believe, will record. We faced and overcame one of the toughest.
In all honesty, I will say that Biden has been
history.
better than I expected him
we've
to
ever
be.
known. I promise you, we'll come out stronger with a renewed faith in ourselves, a renewed commitment to one another, to our
Did somebody
communities and to our
block
country.
alt-right apparently?
This
They give him a
is the
timeout?
United States of America. And there's nothing, from the bottom of my heart, I believe this, there's nothing we can't do when we do it together. So God bless you all. And please, God, give solace to all those people who lost someone. And may God protect our
Rage quit.
troops. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I look forward to seeing you.
I'm just happy to see a president that's a
President
human.
Biden,
Like, that's human
mourning and
emotion that
celebrating and challenging Americans
he
all
conveyed
at
up
the same
there.
time. And that's
It's a very low bar.
Special live coverage of President Biden's first address to the nation from the White House. Please stay with us online and join us again for the news
Those
hour
gods are
tomorrow evening.
dead.
I'm Judy Woodruff from all of us at the PBS.
Judy Woodruff does a fantastic
Please stay
job.
safe, and we'll see you soon.
I really wish that I had been on when she was interviewing Mitch McConnell. She did a great job interviewing him. Very tough but fair reporter. Judy Woodruff is one of the best in the business, hands down. I'm a big fan. I really wanted to get alt-right apparently to try to call in, because I wanted to fuck around with him. Well, damn. Biden did not go as long as I thought he might. I expected it to be about a 40-50 minute speech. We got about 26 minutes. Yes, a gay cake shop would go over fantastically. I would frequent a gay cake shop. So, for those of you that don't know, one more time I'll run down the stimulus. $1,400 checks. $1,400 checks per dependent. If you've got kids, you're going to get $1,400 per kid. One-time payment that you could see as soon as this weekend. The White House changed its stance. It was saying that you will get them by the end of the month. Later on in the day, they stated that you could see them by this weekend. I personally would bet on Monday or Tuesday more realistically. You get $1,400 per kid, and then the expanded child tax credit. That's what the $300 I mentioned earlier is. $300 per kid per month for a year. This used to be a credit you can claim on your taxes. They're doling it out in payments now, and they've expanded it. It was $2,200 or something, $2,300. I'm not sure the exact number because I don't have kids. I don't care. Oh, there was the thing with TurboTax on the last check. I hope they don't fuck it up for people again. I was one of the ones that didn't see. I didn't think I was going to get the $600 check. I thought I was going to have to claim it on my taxes because they said they'd already closed it out. And then I got it like a week later. I'm like, oh, cool. That's neat. And apparently some people were still getting them as of a couple weeks ago. So I have no clue. But $300 per month per kid for the next year. And hopefully that's a program that's not going away. A UBI of sorts. Multiple think tanks have said that it could cut child poverty in half. I think the bill overall is supposed to lift 19 million people out of poverty. One fell swoop. And that's what Republicans have been afraid of. That they would see a government program that actually works well in people's lives. The problem is that the Democrats, like, people are saying that I'm the one telling them about the $300 and nobody fucking knew about it. The Democrats should be on all the shows saying it. All the talk show hosts should be talking about it. Democrats are horrible at messaging. Pisses me off so bad. Now, they did negotiate down from $400 plus ups on unemployment. But the negotiation with that is that the first 10 grand of unemployment is going to be untaxed. So it's actually kind of a wash. I personally would think getting people the money in their hands is better than giving it back to them in their taxes. But if the first 10 grand isn't going to be taxed, then you can take that check mark off and you cannot take out taxes on your unemployment, and it's pretty much a wash. They need to take credit for shit. You are exactly right. Own their shit. They didn't own the good shit about the ACA. They ran away from it. I remember that 2010 midterm election. If the Democrats do it again, they're fucked. They ran away from the ACA during the whole Tea Party revolution shit. If they do it again, they're fucked. But hopefully the progressives are going to keep them honest and keep pushing them, cashing in a push for a fourth $1,400 stimulus check to help those in need, as current payments are not enough. Democrat members of the House have signed a letter asking for the president to consider further checks. It reads, "One more check is not enough during this public health and economic crisis. The representatives are aware of how costly that could become, so they made sure to note that the direct payments should only be directed towards those who need it the most and will spend it the quickest." I'm always for giving poor people money because they spend it. It stimulates the economy. See, there's where it says, over the weekend, Biden revealed that Americans could start receiving their $1,400 stimulus checks this month. He also planned to sign it tomorrow, which I apparently he did hear the pushback about that and signed it this afternoon. It didn't make any sense that he would wait on that, especially when Democrats earlier this week, I can't remember exactly who it was, but I want to say it was a senator. I think he was on the Sunday show and said that people could see their money in their account as soon as this weekend. So why would Biden drag his ass on that? God, Democrats piss me off so bad. So that's all that the Sun has about the push for $1,400. All right, so if you haven't been with me the whole time, I've had some family issues this week. That's why I've been absent. My father passed over the weekend. My mother is in the hospital. So I don't know when I'll be broadcasting. I will be back next week sometime. I might be here tomorrow. We'll see what happens. But I will be back shortly. But I might be off for a couple of days. Let me find a channel to send you over to if you are watching on Twitch. I'm gonna send you over to Rule.James. Thank you very much, Mergen. I appreciate you guys. The love I've received from all my friends, people in the stream. The media wench was fucking awesome. I love that woman. It's been very humbling. I'm gonna send you over to Rule.James if you're watching on Twitch. Do click his channel so he gets the credit for the views. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's alright to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm Justin FREAKIN. We'll see you soon on the Troll Patrol live.